So this is our wiring for lab 5. On this terminal, these 3 terminals right here are all our common grounds. These are our positives for 24 volts. These over here are our earth grounds, and all those earth grounds lead back to earth ground, which is connected right here. And then here we have our negative AC connections, and then our positive AC connections, and they're connected through here. This red wire would be our positive for DC, and this would be our negative. This would be our positive for AC, and then this would be our neutral. And here we have our common ground. Down here we have our output, which is going to be connected to this contactor. And this contactor works so that when the output is high, it'll send a connection to or it will basically switch energy and turn on the motor. So we're going to be using this contactor to turn on the motor, and it works kind of like this. So when, for example, our output is high, it'll make the connection, and then it'll push the coil down, and then it'll make the connection for the motor to start. For our analog sensors, here we have our ground, and then here we have our ground to close the circuit, and then our 2 sensors are going to be they're going to each have about 540 resistors in series, because we need to lower the voltage so that the sensors can work properly. Otherwise they're not going to work, because they need to be between a certain range. And then here we have the motor connected. This is going to be our ground, which is connected down there to our earth ground. This is going to be our positive, which is connected to the contactor. And then our negative is right here, connected to negative AC. For the contactor, the top is our AC, and then the bottom is our DC connections. And here we have some of them. Like this one is our common connection, and then this would be our positive, which would lead all the way back here. And then last but not least, we have an Ethernet cable which connects to this computer, and we have our program here. Alright, this is our program on TIA portal. Our first sensor, when it notices that the box is in front of it, it sets the output for the motor high, and the memory bit conveyor start, it sets it high too. Once that happens, this will be high. It'll set a timer of 2.25 seconds, and then it'll restart the motor output. It'll set the middle memory bit high, and then it'll restart the conveyor start memory bit. Once that happens, this will be high, and it'll start a timer of 1 minute and 10 seconds. And as that is how long it takes for the UR robot to fill the box with the glue sticks. So after the box has been filled with all the glue sticks, then the motor will start, and this memory bit will be high, and the middle memory bit will be reset. And the only thing that will stop the motor from stopping will be when the finished loading is set. It'll the second sensor will sense that the box is there, and it'll stop the motor, and it'll reset the finished loading. Alright, this is our program for the UR robot. Basically, it'll always start with the gripper released. It'll move to approach the glue sticks, which is right where it's at. Then it will move to, or it'll wait till there's a glue stick, or until that sensor senses that there's a glue stick in there, which will be low. And then it'll move to glue grab, which is where it will grab the glue stick. Then it'll grip it. It'll move above the glue sticks, which is usually right here, and then it'll move to the where the box is gonna be, which is that middle part where the tape's at. It'll release it, and then it'll move to a waypoint we designed for it to avoid colliding into the box and knocking it over. And then as long as there's always a glue stick, it'll move back to the reset, which is the home point where it's at right now. And if there is no glue stick, then it'll stop. Alright, now I'm going to show how the program works. So the sensor, notice there was a box, so it moved to the middle, and then it stopped. Now the UR robot is going to load all the glue sticks. After a minute 10 seconds, the motor will start again, and it won't stop until it gets to that second sensor. But we timed it so that all 6 glue sticks are going to be in that box before that happens. And as long as that photoelectric sensor right there notices that there is no glue sticks there anymore, then the UR robot will stop after. If not, it'll keep going. We can just add more glue sticks, but for this purpose we only did 6 because of the timer. Okay, there's no more glue sticks, so the UR robot moved, and as soon as the timer ends, then it'll move, and then once that sensor notices that it is there, it'll stop, like so. And that is our project.